Hey guys, we're here today to install this turbo muffler delete. So you can see it's a lot less restrictive. It'll create a little bit more power. Any de-restriction in airflow to the engine creates more power. How much? Well, to be determined, probably not much, but we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna dig in and we are going to install the ECS turbo muffler delete kit.
Thinking about doing a flush mount kit with stud conversion for this reason. That could not have been more perfectly timed. Yeah, that's okay. Ooh, heavy wheels, I love it. Just kidding, I don't. And that is for my own safety. So what I'm doing is removing the T25 bolts that are holding the lower fender liner in. Lower front passenger side fender liner on blah, 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 blah. So much information. But we're just removing it so that we can actually get to the turbo muffler delete. Okay, down and out, that's the way to go. It needs to be cleaned. We'll get that. And there she is, up in there. Let's get to it. T30, here we come. All right, so I found out that that was a 7mm bolt that I ended up taking a wrench to and loosening it up enough for us to get it off of there. Try to get this end off now. Might take a screwdriver getting up and around there. This has been on here for a while, so understandably, this is being a pain to release. I think I might have got this end though. There we go, there's one end. Sick. All right. Up in there is the turbo muffler. You can see through my fat fingers that there's little Allen bolts I should say, that I need to get at. 3 of them. How we're gonna get all 3 beats me. I believe they're 4mm. Let's get them. Oops, that hit the camera, I'm pretty sure. Better that than my face. Put it in a spot I can only get one hand on it. Okay. This is probably gonna take a minute, and I think I'm gonna need a light up in there as well. Okay, so I guess, yeah. Well, let's get my hand out of there. Ooh. Oops, sorry, GoPro. Oh my goodness. Okay, so there's the super easily accessible Allen key, and there's the one clockwise to it. That next one, that's the one I just got. I was messing around with it for quite a bit off camera because I didn't want too much footage, but I found out if you go straight underneath it, you can use the Allen key to push up, just like I was, and then get in there and break it loose. Just remember which way's loosening and which way's tightening, because I accidentally was trying to tighten it there for a second. Let's try T30. Let's see. Just be careful not to strip it, really. Oh, I think a T, okay. If you don't have a Torx socket set.
A T30 will do the same thing. Just make sure you don't strip the bolt.
Slowly but surely, I am learning the ways of the mechanic. But I also should probably have the proper tools at the same time. Yeah, we won't talk about that part. Don't get stuck at the last thread. Ah. You know what that is?
That means out comes, once I get it past this wire,
or so I thought out comes, but
wait. Well, we finally got it out. I had shut the cameras off because I didn't need terabytes upon terabytes of footage showing me failing miserably at what I do, basically. What ended up happening is I got the top one out. I don't know how, I don't remember how, that was so long ago. And I was able to wiggle this free after getting the sensor unplugged. I tried to remove that sensor mount, it wouldn't come out. So I wiggled it out and spent literally 30 minutes wiggling this out until I somehow figured out how to get it out. Now it's out, and I wanted to show you guys why this is a performance mod. So this part right here is actually in the turbo. And as you can see, there's little holes in it. It just lets the air swirl around a little bit, and it just quiets it down. It's a muffler. It's what it's there for, because you want comfort in a consumer. You can see it's elbow and it's pretty narrow in there. Doesn't go straight out. Whereas this one, I can see you guys right through it. It just lets the turbo breathe a lot better. And then it comes with a silicone elbow tube for a much smoother transition over into the side pipe into the intercooler. That helps the engine get more air, create more power, more fun, more noise, more yay. I really like it. I know I'm gonna like it more when it's actually on the car and I can put this back together and drive it, because I was nervous there for a second that I wouldn't be able to get it. So let's get this back in, let's get this back together, and let's not have another hour of messing around. Well, we're back with day two. It's been a while since I've had a 2-day project. Most of that was my own incompetence and lack of tools. Everything was going pretty good, and then I ran into a couple of bolts on some of the sensors up by the turbo muffler that I couldn't get to with the tools that I had, very easily at least. 2 of those took about an hour each. If I had a Allen key socket set, it probably would have been 30 minutes. So there was some just lack of tools that got me really frustrated. Wasn't really thinking very much. Was trying to blindly get up in there and remove them, and accidentally removed the diverter valve instead. So then there was another thing I had to put back together. And I finally got all that removed, put the delete pipe in backwards. Yep, I was a little frustrated. Wasn't really thinking clearly. Got it put in the right way, put the little coupler on, tightened it on the muffler pipe. Wasn't lined up properly, so the rest of the pipes wouldn't fit right. At that point, I just said, I'm done, I'm going to bed. This 2-hour job turned into 6.5-ish. I was just like, I'm too frustrated to do this right and to get it all done, and I know the fender liner is going to be interesting because there's so many bolts. So I saved that for another day so I could rest up, make sure I was doing everything right, and get back to it, get this done. Really shouldn't take that long right now because the coupler is on. I just have to readjust it and get everything put back together. And we should be good to go to test it and see how much power we've gained. So let's get to it in a much happier mood today.
All right, so what we're doing, so we're getting up in there. You can barely see it. Right about there is the turbo muffler. So we're putting, whoops, this pipe up in and getting it on. It's a bit squishy up in there. Well, we'll get it. It's hard to do with one hand holding a camera, so I'm gonna put the camera down. I think we might be on. Let me get a good look. Almost. Now it looks like it's on to me. And then this other clamp. Make sure this, boink, ow. Even though that didn't hit me. Gotta make sure this lines up proper. Oh, so many pieces everywhere. I should keep better track of this stuff. Okay, so we're a little bit off again. So that pipe wasn't lining up right. It's lined up now. You just gotta undo the clamp underneath there, swivel it up till it mates very nicely. You can see it's at a bit of an angle. And then button everything down. We should be pretty good to go. Right here, there's a tiny gap. It's half a thumbnail. It was a whole thumbnail. So I'll take what I can get. That doesn't want to go down there. So we're ipsies. Gonna have to do this. This clamp is acting up. 70 to 78. So this one's tighter, so this one should be down here, yeah. Oh, wait. Am I reading that backwards? 67 to 75. Oh, okay, okay. Not the end of the world. The clamps are on the wrong ones. That's okay. So what ended up happening was this hose was both too small for the muffler delete, but also too big for the OEM plastic pipe right down there. So I had to use the old hose clamp. That was a 50 millimeter, 70 millimeter. This was a 67 to 75. I'd say it was about 7 millimeters too big. Didn't get quite enough pressure for it to withstand any boost. I really didn't get any pressure at all. It's a bit too big. The silicone hose is a little short. It could use probably another 1/4 of an inch or something like that. So it sits right on the end with the hose clamp. It's past the lip on the plastic charge pipe. So it'll work, it'll fit. I'm probably gonna have to replace the muffler gasket soon, just cause that I think got a little overstretched when I was messing around. But if it holds right now, we're gonna run with it. Which it won't be bad now that I've done all the hard work to get everything out of the way. The kit from ECS came with a little clip that pulls that sensor that I was struggling with out of the way. So getting back to it won't be as hard, won't be a big deal. So I'm not too concerned about that. It sat nicely when I flipped it back around. It was sitting weird when I had it wrong, which should have been a clue, but woe is me. Anyways, we're gonna put the fender liner back on, put the wheel back on. We're gonna take it out, test it, make sure it works, and then we're gonna do some 0 to 60 times. If you would like to hear more loud noises and see just how much quicker the turbo muffler delete made the GTI, please check out the full butt dyno report video on my YouTube channel. All right guys, the turbo muffler delete is finally in. That took a lot longer thanks to a little bit of my own
incompetence, lack of tools. That happens. I treat this channel more as a vlog than a genuine mechanic how-to channel. And I'm just proving the point with this install, but it's in, there's no boost leaks, it runs great. I hope you might have learned something. I definitely learned a lot. Every time I do something on my GTI or any car, I learn something. I'm not certified, and that's okay. I just like to have fun and film it. And thank you guys for watching, for bearing with me, for subscribing. It really means a lot to me. It means a lot more than you could ever know. Thank you again for watching. Have a great day. Remember, Jesus loves you. Bye.